Listening to music and you hear a pop thinking it's a speaker. Your back window busts out and that's all you can remember. And 2.5 months later you wake up in a hospital. And after it all, one plant from nature changes it all. Let's dive into the conversation. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Organically Blunt. This evening, I have the pleasure and the opportunity, and I'm going to try not to butcher it, Fabiator. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. So I want to dive right into the story with you here, and we're going to get right into the nitty gritty. And we want to hear exactly the story of how you ended up in the hospital. But before we get to that, we got to start even farther back. I want to hear the first question I want to ask you is I want to hear about your first experience with cannabis and where'd you get it from and what that was like for you.
Well, I was 12 years old. I was hanging around with my cousin, and I introduced cannabis to myself. But basically, it was my cousin who had it, and I just got it from him, and I started medicating from it. And that's when I realized, hey, this is actually a good plant. Not only does it make me feel good, but it actually cures me from whatever I have. So
Definitely.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, I've had even friends that are local here asking me about your story all week. They're like, so how did he survive and what happened? And what are the details? Can you tell us? And I told them straight up, I don't even know the story. So we're all going to hear it at the same time. So can you take us down through the rabbit hole a little bit?
Sure. Well, it all started on August 1st of 1998, 26 years ago to this day. Um, I was only 16 years old. I was growing up at the time. I was barely opening my eyes to everything around me. And I was hanging around with my cousin a lot and a friend of mine who I graduated with in grammar school. Um, My cousin was not a gangbanger, but my friend was, and all the gangbangers used to hang around over there with him all the time. And a good saying in Spanish is, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Tell me who you're with, and I'll tell you who you are.
Wow.
Um, and at the time that my parents were telling me that, I never really paid attention to it because it was just, whatever saying, nothing important to me at the time. As the time passed, it was around the middle of July. Another gangbanger who was also right there in the corner of actually the border. He was shot at in a drive-by and killed. And unfortunately, at the time, I was the only one there who could actually drive him to the hospital. I did just that, and by the time we got there, the doctor had told me that he had passed away.
Wow. Man, you're giving me chills.
Yeah. So then afterwards, I believe 2 weeks passed by and we were right there. I was parked in the corner and I was with my friend, my cousin, and another acquaintance who was a gangbanger. And we were just relaxing there, medicating on cannabis. And then out of nowhere, the leader or the jefe of that gang, he came up to me and he asked me, hey, let's give this guy's uncle a ride home because he's too drunk. He can't make it. So at the time, I was only 16 years old, and I was like, all right. So I gave him a ride home, and with him sitting in the as a shotgun passenger, on the way back, I noticed a white Astrovan following me, and I didn't really think much of it until it got more closer. And then I'm like, well, why is this guy so, on my butt all the time, Um, so I just felt that, feeling inside, something's gonna happen. And as soon as I heard the first gunshot, it broke through my rear windshield window in my Blazer, and I thought it was one of my speakers that blew up, and it wasn't. It was actually a gunshot, because after that rear windshield, the next gunshot was to the passenger side window that led me to get shot in the head.
Wow, man.
And it was with the 9 millimeter. I have no skull right here.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but I mean, I only had from what my neurologist told me, I only had 2.5% chances of surviving that
Well,
incident.
I'm glad you're here, man. I really am.
And no, and then thanks to cannabis, I'm here, because if it wasn't for cannabis, then I don't know where I'd be right now, because cannabis helped me rehabilitate myself, be a better person, open my eyes to everything that is out there and what is hurting our society today.
You got that right. Definitely. Man. I'm flabbergasted, man. I couldn't imagine. I mean, cannabis saved my life too, but you know, oh, man, and I live in a city just like that right here, believe it or
Yeah.
not. And that happens on a daily here, and that's my biggest fear in my job, because I work on the road, and it's like,
Mm.
man, I could, I don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but wow, you know, you're a miracle, and that plant's a miracle, and that's all I can say, Just like Joseph said here, we're all speech. Well, said speedless, but speechless. Yeah, we're speechless. Yep, we're all
Yeah, it's that autocorrect that always gets
yeah,
us.
yeah, man. I'm speechless. I don't even. You literally took the words right out of. I don't even know what to say, but you know,
Mm.
I'm I'm glad you're here, and I want to know more, I guess, not just about the bad side of things. Let's hear about the good side of things, and let's turn this episode around a little bit here, and show the positivity of how it's affected your life. I mean, how old were you when you decided you wanted to start growing this plant, and where'd you find your first seeds at? I mean, let's dive into some of the growing side of things a little bit here.
Okay, well, as you know, cannabis is a very beautiful plant, but you need to find out everything about its background and all of that. So that's what I did, and I actually did this for a particular seed, which really helped me out a lot, which is White Widow.
Okay.
Um, I actually Googled it. I did a lot of research on it, and I found out that its main origins are from Greenhouse Seeds Company.
Okay.
And what I did at the time was I actually went on Nirvana Seeds
Okay.
from
Yeah.
way long ago, and that's where I actually found the Greenhouse Seeds Company, and I bought my first beans from there, and that's what I started growing. And before you know it, I'm starting to get better, and not only that, but also me hanging around with other friends, that also consume it, would help me out a lot. And that's why I'm here right now, because of cannabis and because of all the power it has.
Yeah, definitely. I've actually got a pack of Nirvana seeds in my vault, unopened, sealed pack, and I got them from overseas, believe it or not. They came from overseas. And I remember
Hmm.
when they came in a Lego box, and this was back in the day, and I still got them. I haven't popped them, but Man, that's mad respect, dude. You're an OG. You might be a new grower, but you're an OG to the scene, and you got to value that. There's not a lot of us older gentlemen here that really take it back to the craft. A lot of people are on the synthetic side of things because it's easier, it's quicker, and they don't want to put in the work to get the results. And I'm just saying that from an organic standpoint. So, what is your preferred way of growing? I mean, are you just starting out with soil? Have you tried anything else?
I've done soil in the beginning. Then I went to hydroponics or aeroponics, and that to me was the best because it was more pure. The plant grew, I mean, like 3 inches in a day,
Oh yeah.
practically 5 inches. I was just amazed at, just the growth of how fast it grows and the smell. It's just so pure. And when you look at the roots, it's just like you have to have some sunglasses on because it's going to be blinding your eyes.
Oh,
That's how
definitely.
bright it is.
Yep. See, I kind of started out the same way. I started with DWC and I played around with that, but then I did the opposite of what guys do. I took my plants and started them DWC and transferred them to soil. And people are like, "That's nuts." It was nuts, but it's what I learned, and that was way back in the day, way back. But
Mm.
um, yeah, I mean, that's so cool. So, do you got anything currently going? I mean, are you playing with anything in the grow lately?
Not right now. I'm currently not in the right environment to be growing right now. But my guy right here, Macho, he's
Yeah,
growing for me. So Cavs snake oil sent them some beans too that are good for epilepsy because
sure.
it's also what I have as well from the gunshot wound.
Wow.
Um, and that's what's basically just keeping me alive right now. It's the plant and it keeping me seizure free.
Definitely. What is your preferred way of consuming it?
Flour. I only stick to flour.
Me too.
That's what I
Yep.
was. That's what I was introduced to, and I will remain
Yep.
faithful to the flour.
Same here. I'm the same way. And guys, I've tried dabs here and there, but guys have tried me to try other stuff, and I'm just like, no, I'm a flower guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I grew up. My grandfather taught me. He was 80. He was a hemp farmer, and you know, he did it old school. I mean, we did it so old school. There was really only like 5 ingredients to the whole grow, and when I say ingredients, I mean like amendments, and that was it. It was very simple, sun-grown cannabis, and it was probably some of the best I've ever smoked, and that I can relate definitely. So, you know, you follow a lot of people in this industry. I know it because you blow me up with so much cool shit that I miss when I'm on the road. And I'm thankful for
Mm.
that. I am. You and a couple other folks keep me busy, let me tell you. And I appreciate it because I'm on the road roughly 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And when I'm not doing a show. And I'm a self-employed, so it makes it nice because I'm able to take time off to meet people's schedule to make the shows happen. And you know, it, there's a lot out there. Who has been some of your biggest inspiration in this industry so far?
Um, well, as far as I can know, that's at the top of my head. Um, uh, Cheech Marin and Chong. I mean, they were the first ones who brought it out into our eyes. Where we can actually see what it's all about. And real life people like my boy Macho right here,
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
and everyone else who is also helping me out in this family that I have, not a community, but my family.
Absolutely.
Um, because I really love all you guys, and that's something that a lot of us don't get to hear or listen from each other, But you have a very special place here in my heart, bro, for all of
Definitely.
you.
Definitely. Well, and I seen that you were on one of my friend's shows too, Madman. I got to give him respect. We've been on each other's shows, and when I came across the episode, I watched a little bit of it. I watched the shorts and stuff because I'm on the road. I don't have a lot of time to watch video, but I listen to a lot of stuff. And your story touched me. And when you said, "Hey, man, I want to come on," I said, and that's the thing. I want to express this to everybody out there. No matter how big or how small you think your story might be, and you might think it's not important, I still want you to come on the show and share it. I don't care if you have 50 followers on Instagram or 50,000. Everybody has a story to tell, and I want to hear it because everybody wants to hear your story from your perspective. And that is the most organic way to do things. And I want to take a second, chat. I want you guys to help me out here, and I want you all to give me a chance to thank Macho, and I want you to put him on camera because
Mhm.
he deserves a thank you for making this show happen
You
tonight.
ain't gotta put me on camera, man, but I'll do anything for my boy right here, man.
Hey, there we go, right there. That's all I needed.
Yeah,
We appreciate you, man.
and that's
And
the thing.
you know, there's no community without you and I. You can't spell the word community.
That's
And
right, bro.
that it takes all of us. We're all a village. We're a tribe, whatever you want to call it. But we work together. And you know, I know you said Cheech and Chong was your inspiration, but like, who has been some of your favorite creators? Is basically what I was getting at. Because you share so much content. Who's been
Um,
some of the people that have stood out to you? I mean, I would love for you to be able to get your story on some of these other shows too, because it's a story to tell. And if you're up for it, I'm willing to put the mouse in a couple people's ears and say, hey, I'm friends with Mr. Grow It. I'm friends with Pigeons. I'm friends with Rob CLTV and all them guys. And, Northern Scrogger and Joe from Basement Auto Grow and High Again. And these are all great creators in this community. And I'm just curious who some of your favorites are.
Madman Plant,
Yeah.
or organically blunt,
Okay.
Macho Man's Grand Savage.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Um, Also, he doesn't do any more videos, but I used to follow him when I started growing. Actually, he inspired me to grow. Was how we what
Okay.
was it? How we grow blunts.
Okay. I never heard of that
So
one. That's got to
yeah,
be an old school one, definitely, because
yeah, it is. It is.
yeah, definitely. And Madman, thanks for joining the chat tonight, man. I hope you're doing well. I hope the family's well. You know, when you come to Grand Rapids, I'm going to try to make it out there to see you. He's coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's been touring, and we're going to get a chance to hopefully sit down in person and have a little chat. So I'm going to try to make it out there. No guarantees, but I do have it in the calendar still. So nothing has been scheduled for that day yet. So it's still there, brother. Definitely. And you know, I want to you say White Widow definitely does it for you. Is there any other strains that you're particular to that you've liked?
Sour Diesel, Green Crack,
Okay.
uh, Chem Dog,
Okay. Yeah.
and Trainwreck.
Old school right there. Yep.
Yeah, old
Yeah.
school strings, man.
Yep. Yep. And I love growing all of them myself, and I've got a bunch of different things going. I've got some peanut butter breath right now and flour that I can't wait to bring down. I've been dealing with really moist, hot temperatures up here. So it'll rain, 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 and then we'll get
Mhm.
like 95 degrees. And I'm dealing with a lot of what they call leaf septoria right now on different plants in different areas. And my one of my next upcoming episodes, we're going to teach you guys, I'm thinking, is how to make a simple lab and how to treat for leaf septoria. And I'm new to it. I'm not an expert, but we're all going to walk through it together and see if we can't overcome it on a couple of these plants because it's no fun. And I don't want to see my crop get ruined. And I know if I can teach somebody to save theirs too, I'm going to do that as well. And is there anything about you that you want to share that I haven't asked? You know, I know you say you got epilepsy. I've got a niece that actually has epilepsy. We just found out last year, unfortunately, she had a seizure at school and she has to wear special glasses because certain lights will trigger her epilepsy.
Right.
Yep.
Well, in my situation, I usually get my seizures like around in the morning time when I'm asleep, and that's the only time I have my seizures. I have had them during the day, but I've had them on an airplane.
Wow.
What used to be ATA Airlines is now Southwest. The Pace bus, and then a Starbucks coffee. That's where I had my previous last seizures.
Wow. I couldn't imagine. Oh,
Mhm.
definitely crazy. Yeah, I got a friend, Jesse. He lives in Chicago and he's got epilepsy. He's had it for a long time. And some of them, you know, they just totally drain him. You know, he has them a lot, but he uses cannabis, but I don't think he uses it like you do to treat it. And I really think he needs to meet you because I think you could probably give him a lot of helpful information as somebody that can relate to him, you know. So if you're willing to, maybe I'll connect you guys after the show sometime and you can chat it up and see where he stands with things and maybe you can help him out because I'm not the pro when it comes to treating it because I don't have it, but
Right.
I have an autoimmune disease myself. You know, I have alopecia and it's not fun because my body is inflamed all the time and I'm allergic to my own hair. So it's
Wow.
yeah, it's ridiculous. My body thinks my hair is a disease. So when it grows, it comes in clear. I know it doesn't look it, but it 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 can go into remission, and that's where it's at right now. I mean, for the most part, and my hair will go clear, it'll go red, it'll go literally white, and it won't have pigment, and then it falls out, and it can do it anywhere on my body. So it's like sucks because the only thing that treats it other than steroid shots in my skull that and that ain't even a treatment. That's just to cut the inflammation is the only thing that's worked for me is cannabis, you know. And
Hmm.
I can relate, you know. I can totally relate. So, you know, I know you guys got some seeds from calves, but you know, have you tried any other genetics from any other good quality breeders out there yet?
Just greenhouse seeds, pretty much. That's about it. I've tried other greenhouse seeds, beans like what is it, White Widow XXL.
Okay, yes.
Um, it was similar to the original White Widow, but just wasn't the full on, you know,
Right.
effects as the original.
Well, what I would like to do is I'd like to turn you on to a couple other breeders that are quality, but I want you to pick your genetic strains out and we'll do this after the show. I'll connect you with seedsmen and I'll talk to my representative over there and we'll get you a couple different packs out, let you try a couple different things out. And it's the least we can do. I always tell everybody, and everybody says, turn somebody on to growing. And if you can't use them, bless somebody else. But
Yes.
um, I would like to see you get a couple packs. I don't know how many they're willing to do, but usually they'll do something on my word, and we'll hook you up, because you are a newer grower, and I want to see some more content come from you. I want to see you do some more posts when you can. You don't have to show where you're at or show your area. Keep it secluded if you feel that way, but I want to see the plant. I want to see what you can do. And
Okay.
I want to be there to help you too. I'm not a professional, but if I can help you, or I can have somebody I know help you if you're having an issue with your grow, we're going to help you get it dialed in, because we want you to have healthy, quality, clean medicine. And at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. And not saying calves isn't a good breeder. I've never tried it, his genetics, and I'm willing to, if he wants to ever get to that level. But I work with a lot of different breeders, big and small. And if there's a brand that you're interested in, maybe I can help you out. Maybe I can hook you up. If I can't get you a free pack, at least I can probably get you a discount, because we work with so many breeders that when you type in organically blunt and you check out over there at a lot of these websites that you see us advertise at the end of our shows, you can save 10, 15, 20% off your order. And that might not sound like a lot, but when you figure you pay $100 for a pack of seeds and you get 20% off, that's $20 off your order. I don't know about you, but that's a good lunch for me. And I'll go get me a burger or something. I'm not saying a massively fine dining dinner, but you'll definitely be able to eat a lunch on that. So, we want to hook you up, definitely. And definitely, I've got some Seedsman White Widow going right now, and it's outdoor sun grown. And um, I like the old school strains myself too. And some of them are getting harder to find. And we got to hold on to them. So I want to make sure they get into the people's hands that appreciate them, and I can tell you do. So I want to ask you one of the famous organically blunt questions. I know you said Cheech and Chong was a big inspiration, but this question we ask everybody, and the rule is you can't think about it. You got to use the first thought. And that's what makes it organically blunt. If you could smoke with anybody dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Tupac.
Okay. Hell yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I can relate to that. Yes. I would very much
Mhm.
enjoy a sesh with him. Yeah. So what I guess other than White Widow, have you tried any other strains that work for you though? I know people have said like Charlotte's Web, ACDC. Have you tried any of them yet?
Well, I remember when I tried. It was a strain that it's a hybrid strain. It was mixed with Trainwreck. But that actually made me have an episode after I just consumed it. So that's a
Yeah.
big no.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm gonna give you the opportunity. I'm gonna talk to Seedsman when we get off here. If you don't have an account over there when you get off here, make an account. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get your email from you and whatever you put the account under, and they're gonna load a credit into your account where you can pick out a pack of seeds or however many they agree to, at least a pack of what you think would work for you, and it'll come right to your door. We'll get it. We'll get
Nice.
it. We'll get it all taken care of for you. At least get you a pack out so you can try something, you know, and that way, if you are getting low on genetics after you harvest and stuff, you can pop a couple more and get right back into it. So that way you don't run out of your medicine, because I know how important that is. I don't take Tylenol because I'm
Hmm.
I'm allergic to pain pills. As stupid as it sounds, my autoimmune disease, anything that's an anti-inflammatory does the opposite to my immune system. So anything like ibuprofen actually inflames me. So it's like totally screwed. Yeah, it sucks. Yep. And Seedsman often does have big sales. The good thing about it is Seedsman gives away a lot of freebies, a lot of buy one get ones, a lot of stuff like that. And these episodes wouldn't be possible without them. You know, they've been behind me for over 3 years now, and I'm thankful for them because they help other people in the industry grow. And I want to give a shout out to Red Setter Farms. Thanks for joining us tonight. He is another Michigan grower, and I think he actually has, don't quote me, but I think he's done some breeding before. And he believes in organic farming, sustainable farming as well. So if you ever need any good information, he's another good person to reach out to. So
Okay.
we got a great community here. I mean, and I want to make sure you're connected with a lot of great people that have great information. I know you already know a lot of great people, but you know, it can get bigger. It really can, but it gets smaller at the same time. It's like, it's so huge, but everybody knows everybody eventually. And it's like, I'll be talking to somebody and they'll be like, hey, you know, such and such. And I'm like, yeah, how do you know them? And they're like, oh, I'm blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and it's like, wow, I guess everybody does know everybody, you know, and this has been the most accepting community I've ever been involved with. So I'm thankful for that. So I guess my question is, what can we expect from you in the future? Do you have any plans of doing anything, or do you plan on how big do you decide to go? Are you deciding you want to grow into? I mean, do you have a tent? Do you have a room you're going to set up? What are your future plans here? And is there anything we can possibly do to help you out?
Um, well, my plans is to just be a big time grower. Have
That
acres and acres full of nothing but Yeska, all everywhere,
that'd be
growing
awesome.
everywhere.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah. So you know, I don't have a lot of other questions really prepared for you
Okay.
because you literally blew my mind. Like everybody said, speechless. I didn't even know where to take questions because I've never met anybody that's experienced that. And I hate to say it, been shot in the head and survived. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
you're a miracle. You're a blessing. And I don't even know how to take it because I don't know. I don't even know. I have nothing to relate to it. So like that's what makes your story so unique. And you're using the plant. You know, you're not using opiates. You know, that's the
Mm-hmm.
biggest. I know so many people that get addicted to opiates, and it's not good. That's like me, for example, and I hate to use myself for an example, but I literally just got a prescription today from the doctor. And the doctor says, but use this cream. It'll help for the inflammation of your hair falling out and slow it down and this and that. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but I'm going to let you know the side effects. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, your skin will thin. It'll start to bleed. You're going to get acne. And you probably shouldn't be in prolonged sun for a long time. And you should put it on at night. And I'm like, all that versus the one little issue I'm dealing with now where my hair just falls out and my skin feels like it's on fire. I think I'll just live with it. I'm not going to use that shit. No way, because it sounds worse than the condition we're using to treat it with. So, yeah, I don't like doctors, and that's a personal opinion.
Right.
I mean, if they're good and they're holistic, great, but it's hard to get a doctor to, at least in my area, to really like cannabis. You know, they're always in there when I go in there, like, have you quit smoking yet? And I'm like, no, why would I do that? And they're like, well, it's not so great. I mean, on your lungs. And I'm like, but it's so great on everything else it's treating. So,
Hmm.
like, I think I'll live with that to live longer with what I'm trying to deal with. So, yeah, definitely. And welcome to the show, everybody that has just now attended. And if you want to see more information about his story, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. Come back and watch it after the show. The recap will always be available on our channel. Usually we go for an hour, but like I said, you baffled me, and I'm not sure if there's any other information you want to dive into or anything you want the community to know about you. But I'm literally at a loss for words, and I I'm I I'm just blown away. You know, you're a miracle walking, dude, and you should definitely definitely know that. I mean, I would. I don't even know what else to say, man, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're growing and I'm glad that you shared the story with the whole community because that takes a lot. It really does. As a person, and I know that as a person who's been through a lot of tragic stuff myself, that sometimes that can bring on PTSD and thoughts you don't want. And we don't want to bring that upon you. So I just want you to know that we do appreciate you expressing yourself and your emotion with the community because it takes a lot of courage and self confidence to do that. And not a lot of people can do that, and especially come on camera and do it in front of people they don't even know. So I thank you once again, man.
Well, thank you, Organically Blunt, and just a message for everyone out there listening to me right now. That whole gangbang lifestyle, trying to be somebody that is important or you think is important, it's not. It's not worth it, man. Your life is more better than anything. It's more. It's more. It's more fun to live your life than to live your life looking behind your back all the time. That's what I want to say.
Definitely, man. And that's the most true words I've heard all year. And I appreciate that, man. You're welcome to come on this show anytime. Like I said, we're gonna hook you up with some seedsman stuff, and I'll get that out to you. And we're also gonna be here if you ever need us, or if you get into growing some beautiful plants. Don't be afraid to send me some pictures. I'll share it because I want to see what you can do. New people inspire me because I remember where I started, and I made so many mistakes, and I still do. That I didn't have anybody but Jorge Cervantes's Grow Bible. That's all I had. Nobody around me
Mm.
grew to help me that I knew until I got into the community. So I'm opening my doors of my community to you, and you're welcome back anytime. So I appreciate you sharing your story. And once again, everybody, thanks for joining us. And you enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you for coming on the Organically Blunt Show.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. As we close this chapter of Organically Blunt, immense gratitude to our exceptional partners who fuel our growth journey. Seedsman Genetics, the seasoned seed bank with over 2 decades of experience. Grow Bag, your trusted storage solution to protect terps. Gorilla Grow Tent, crafting spaces for cultivating dreams. Kind LEDs, illuminating your green haven. Country Roots Soil and Amendments, nurturing roots for success. Atlas Seeds, a source of pure genetic treasures. Green Wolf Genetics, creators of botanic magic. Smoke and Stork Genetics, where passion meets potency. Humboldt Seed Company, committed to cultivating excellence. Extreme Gardening, elevating your gardening game. Rain Science Grow Bags, redefining plants' homes. 420 Fast Buds, pioneers of fast and furious growth. Captain Redbeard Seeds, sailing the seas of genetic innovation. Aero Mixer, the hermetic heartbeat of your grow. Petra Tools, your trusted garden companions. SoFem Genetics, sowing seeds of FEMS and Build-A-Soil, building the foundation of your organic oasis. Lost Close Plant Therapy, healing and enhancing plant vitality. Unlock these exclusive deals with coupon code OrganicallyBlunt at checkout. Until our next episode, stay connected and keep growing, and as always, stay organically blunt.